yeah, as always, when we have guests here for the first time, we like to do what we call our clubhouse, where we get to know you guys a little bit better. We each have a question for you, and it just kind of helps us get to know your taste in movies, that just like as we head into the podcast, so people can kind of understand who you are. So I will start out with my question. Jen, I'll throw it to you first. My favorite question to ask people, even before we started the podcast, was if you're stuck on a deserted island and you have like a DVD player and a TV and that's it, and you can take the entire filmography of one, either director or actor, who would you take with you on that island?
Oh, this is hard because I thought I knew my answer and now I'm second guessing it.
Yeah,
that's perfect. I love it.
But I'm going to go with my initial thought, which is David Fincher, because I could rewatch.
Nice.
I could rewatch Seven anytime, and Zodiac's like 3 hours. So that'll kill some time when I'm on the island.
That's very true. Yeah. I love that. Put the little Jake Gyllenhaal in there. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that at all. So
yeah.
Fincher's great. I think the other thing I love about this is so many times, I think we've never had a repeat answer. And I love the idea of Fincher. Nice. I think that's great. So how about you, Austin?
Well, I had a similar thought process in terms of length, but I decided to go for an actor, and I thought I would take the Kate Winslet filmography with me.
Nice.
Because I just love Kate Winslet. She always just makes me happy. Mm-hmm. And I similarly, like, I got Titanic. There's 3 hours down. So
yeah,
boom,
kill some time.
100%. And you take Mare of Easttown. I don't know if you've watched that yet. But
spoilers.
Not yet. Yeah,
I'm not saying anything about it, but she's in it. I hope that's not a spoiler.
No, I just haven't started it yet.
In Mare of Easttown. I'm sorry if you haven't seen any promotional stuff, but that's a great choice. Again, 2 brand new answers. I love it so much. I think Kate Winslet is a fantastic actor. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Fincher's, I was surprised. I'm like, why did Fincher seems dark, but I agree. Like, I could watch Seven. I mean, that's one of the movies I've seen the most. And in some ways, a movie like that starts to turn into a comedy, especially like the what's in the box thing. And
what's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
just all the little references and everything. It could, so, you could flip it. Fincher could start to look light, and that light will start to look dark, and you've driven yourself crazy on your island.
And he's got some funny stuff in there, like Social Network, and Gone Girl is like surprisingly funny. Like, there's a lot of funny stuff in there. So yeah, it's a great choice.
Yeah, it's one of the first answers that are like, it's pretty cerebral. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I like it. So I always like to figure out or hear about people's favorite experiences in the movies. Like, theaters are starting to open up again. I'm in Oregon, so it's still a little bit restricted here. And I'm so excited to like get back into the theater. And so I've been thinking a lot about the times at the theater that I've really enjoyed. So if you have one you can think of, let's start with Austin.
Yeah. I don't remember what it's like to be in a movie theater. Right? they're still shut here in Toronto, so who knows when we'll be getting back into them. But I was thinking about this, and it was hard, but kind of just recently before lockdown was when I first started realizing that I could go to movies by myself and like enjoy a movie alone. And
so good.
I don't know why it took me so long to come to that realization. So I think that just like in general, just kind of the few months before COVID happened, I started going to the theater more by myself. Even Endgame, I saw Endgame alone, and it was like at a strange, we were in like it was a whole thing. We were in a small town, and I ended up not having anyone around me. It was like opening weekend, but it was like an empty theater. So I was like, this is cool. This is a cool experience. And then, just kind of like being like, oh, I can do this. So that's like not a specific experience, but just like, I'm glad that I finally came to the realization.
Yeah, no, that's so great. Cool. That is one of my favorite, probably my new favorite way outside of the home to watch a movie is to go by myself, Like I've talked about it in a recent episode where I like to plug into a laptop and have my headphones. That's like my new preferred way to watch as opposed to like a big screen or whatever. But if I could, I would go to the theater by myself. It's the best. I love it. You don't have to, you can pick your own seat. Doesn't matter when you get there.
It's very freeing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really is. I mean, and, thinking of the movie theater experience that Kat picking up Mjolnir, I think every theater must have just kind of erupted when that happened. You know, that's probably the most recent experience like that really sticks out to me. That was so cool. That was awesome.
So cool. What about you, Jen? What do you remember?
I'm going to go with the opposite of Austin, basically, because I used to do a lot of the like midnight showing premieres of big movies.
Yeah.
That's always such a fun experience. And yes, you have to line up, and yes, it's a whole ordeal, but you're in like a packed theater with so many people like screaming along. I saw the first Paranormal Activity movie like this.
Whoa.
And like, people were losing their mind. Like, they thought it was real Blair Witch style. They were like, this really happened. This is real footage. And they were like so scared. And I was like, this is one of my favorite experiences. I love it so much.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is cool. Oh, shoot. You just reminded. Oh, I saw The Dark Knight when it came out, like midnight showing. And just like the buzz and the electricity and the vibe, both before the show, like in the lobby, and then in the show, like I'll never forget like the buzz the crowd had, like this like silent electricity during the Joker pencil scene. Like you could just it was visceral. It's crazy. So yeah, that's the premieres are awesome. I hope to get to one again someday.
And as we've clarified, I was not with you there.
You were not with me.
As much as I may have wanted to be in my heart and thought I was not actually there with you.
Let's just pretend you were.
Yeah, I had a great time. It was awesome. I had a blast. Yeah, no, I think about that, like that Paranormal Activity is a great answer. I think about that with the Blair Witch, like when that first came out and just how crazy that must have been. Like there was no way I was going to go see it. We're pretty scared over here of horror movies, so we're not like lining up to go see them. But
Matt's like, wait, speak for yourself.
Yeah. But man, that must have been a crazy theater experience.
That's awesome. So mine is actually, you guys probably have a very easy answer to mine because of the nature of your podcast. But mine, essentially, a few rounds, or I guess several rounds ago, Ben had the idea for each of us to select a movie that we felt was underrated. That maybe it's that we're the only ones that we know that have seen it, or maybe people have seen it, but we feel that it's underappreciated. And so we called that round the Unsung Gems. And so I am just always curious when guests come on to find out what your unsung gem is.
I could go first. Mine, we did it on our podcast a couple months ago, so Jen has seen this movie and she did not like it. But
there's already a reaction. I love
but my gem is a movie called Pennies from Heaven.
Nice.
It's from 1981, starring Steve Martin and Bernadette Peters. I love it. It's like it's a movie musical, but with a kind of a very dark twist, I guess. It's pretty dark and moody, but I love it. And so awesome. I don't think it gets the love it deserves.
Is that one song? Wow. The song Pennies from
Pennies
Heaven?
from Heaven. It's in there. It's in there. Yeah.
Red. I love that song.
It's a very unique movie that no one's ever heard of, but I highly recommend it.
I was just going to say I've never heard of the movie before. I'm looking up the director right now. I had no
Herbert
idea.
Ross is the director.
That's cool. Yeah. That's awesome.
I love how that unsung gem ties to yours, Matt.
I know. Mine also has Steve Martin in it. Mine is the Nora Ephron forgotten classic, Mixed Nuts.
Nice.
Oh, never seen that.
No.
That was same with Tyler.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's in the Christmas rotation now.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
For sure.
How about you, Jen?
Gosh, I feel like the initial unsung gem I was going to go with, I don't think is unsung anymore. I think for a while it was really underrated and people kind of know about it now because the star blew up a lot. But I was going to say Attack the Block.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that would have been a great one.
John Boyega.
I would say that still is a great one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's such a good movie. And I know they're doing a sequel now, so I'm very excited.
Well, I think that would work because I've never heard of it.
Yeah, me neither.
All right. Well, then it is unsung.
I'm aware of it and I haven't seen it, so I think it qualifies for sure.
It's a good one. I do recommend. Austin, hang on. If you haven't seen it, we'll maybe get to it one day on our pod.
Yeah, I'll put it on the list. It looks good.
Yeah, that movie is great. That was very unexpected for me when watching that. It's like I didn't know what I was going to get out of this, but it's a really, really good movie. And then, yeah, Joe Cornish went on to, he also wrote like Ant-Man and Man, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. That's awesome. That's a great choice. Yeah,
That's
if you
a
haven't
great
seen
pick,
Attack the Block, highly recommend it from 1/3 of both podcasts, I guess. So. Yeah.